Hello beautiful people, I'm RaishPhoenix, and in today's video I'll be showing you guys how I created this look. I believe what it was is that I saw this dress first and I was just like, ooh girl, have to have it. And then after the dress, I just saw it perfectly pairing with this ginger hair. I know you guys can't really see it in frame right now, but I will attach a behind the scenes look at this photo shoot here somewhere on the screen. I haven't done a lot of looks with this hair color, so as soon as I saw it, like, I have these moments where I see a garment, I think of a random hair color that I have, and my brain just starts putting it together. So this is one of those moments. The earrings, the ear cuff, and the dress itself, they're from Shein. I have been diving more into my fashion bag. I feel like I get to show it a little bit here and there, my interest in fashion, but lately I've been wanting to just kind of dive more into that. So as long as my bank account allows it, I will continue to show that side and kind of incorporate more of the full look with a makeup look. Oh girl, she's itchy up here. Oh god. When I thought of this look with the ginger hair and the brown dress, I think I just saw a sultry eye look coming together for it. I've done something kind of along these lines, but not as like really into this purpley type of look or plum purpley type of look paired with this lip. Now for this lip, ooh girl, you gonna see this shade is perfect. I love this shade, how it goes with my hair and this look. Like, it's just the right hue, it's the right hue, it's the right value. The issue is that I've had this lipstick for a while, so it's dried down. It's dried down, and a part of me was just like, should I change it for another lipstick? And I couldn't do it. I can do it. I know a lot of us have witnessed or have been there where you put on a matte lipstick and sometimes it dries down a little bit too much. Sometimes, you know, you start noticing all these crevasses in your lips that you didn't before. That's where this is at. I took too long to use it, girl. I've used it in other looks, but ooh girl, and I still went with it. So if my lipstick in the photos or even in the thumbnail, if it looks kind of questionable, that's why. I was stubborn on this. I couldn't let go of the shade. It's like I keep looking at myself in the mirror over here. Being the artist that I am, it's like once I see hues that match so perfectly, it's like if I go a shade lighter, a shade darker, ooh, it just wouldn't have hit the way I want it to. It just wouldn't hit the way it is right now. I can't remember if I included the footage or not, but I did take some of my chapstick and I dabbed it on top and like rubbed it in, so that helped like a little bit. So I'm really pushing it. I really just need to get another one of these lipsticks, but yeah. I'm trying to think, is there anything else I want to include about this look? Yeah, I'm going to be doing more makeup looks and incorporating more of my love of fashion and just experimenting more with like accessories, like the ear cuff and the earrings. I don't know, y'all. Getting back into the swing of recording and filming again, and I just don't want to limit myself. Am I going to go off on a tangent right now? A little bit. I'm gonna try to keep this long story short, but I've noticed that I kind of put so much emphasis on my makeup look, and I used to create in a space or in a way that it's like, how can I be doing a makeup tutorial and I'm just taking like these full body pictures because I love fashion, and it's making it harder to see the makeup look. Like, how can I say I'm doing a makeup look if it's hard for you guys to even see the look that I'm doing? But you know, I'm gonna stop holding back. I'm gonna stop limiting myself. So this is one of those moments where I'm like, yes, I'm doing a makeup look. I'm showing you guys how I'm doing it, but also I'm going to include more or create more opportunities for myself to also show a makeup look, pair it with accessories, and just do the full thing, because it's like the older I get, the more I'm just like, why did I try to create, not even why, how did I get to a point of creating within just like these perimeters. If I want to get opportunities with makeup brands, show this much of your face. And it's just, God, I don't know. I don't know. The point is, I'm getting back in my fashion bag. Yeah. So, with that being said, if you would like to see how I created this look, then keep on watching. Hello, beautiful people. Let's get started with today's look. Off camera, I applied Youth to the People Triple Peptide Cactus Oasis Serum and their Adaptogen Deep Moisture Cream. For brows, the e.l.f. Brow Gel. On the eyes, as a base, I use Alma Beauty Stable Concealer Brown Sugar T2, trying it out to just help having a even canvas to work on for the eyeshadow. And speaking of, I'm grabbing the Crayon Case Matte Book Palette and that shade at the bottom, one over from the left, focusing the shade in the crease, and you can see the entire crease is getting covered, as well as the outer corner of the lid, and making sure that I bring it down to the lash line. From ColourPop, I'm grabbing their Orchid You Not palette and dipping into the shade Ada, which I'll be focusing this on the lid. You'll see that I'll go back into my blending brush to help diffuse that color out into the crease as well. After that, I'm picking up the shade Nuh-Uh, and this is mainly to create a guide for the liner and to help diffuse it later, but you'll see. From Smashbox, their Always Sharp Eye Kohl liner in the shade Raven. I'm going to be using this to apply my liner, so you'll see that I'll use this and also a smaller flat brush, a angled brush that is, to help diffuse out the liner. And girl, it just kept getting shorter and shorter, so I had to sharpen it. I thought I had to use the bottom, then I looked it up and I realized that you keep turning the top close. My hands weren't gripping on it, so I had to use my shirt, and when you keep closing it, it makes this click and then it sharpens. And I was shook. I'm looking at it because I'm like, I ain't never sharpened anything in my life and not have something to throw out after. So what is going on in the top of it? What is going on in there? I don't know. I am genuinely perplexed. I'm still perplexed. I don't know how it works, but it does. So yeah, it just, I don't know. It did it. Going back to liner, so I'm just bringing out the tail, using the angled brush when needed to help diffuse it. And y'all gonna see me dancing this whole time. Beyonce had me right. I was listening to Renaissance and oh girl, I was feeling it. Dipping into the Amrezy palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills, I'm picking up the shade BK, so I'm using this to help diffuse out the liner. And this is just going to help add that smoldering, smoky, sexy look that we're going for. Grabbing the Orchid You Not from ColourPop, dipping into that shade again, Nuh-Uh, and just diffusing out the eyeshadow, and you'll see that I'll dip back into that shade Ada to touch up the lid. So it's one of those things where you go back and forth between either the black eyeshadow or the purple to really help with the smoldering effect, but to also get the color payoff of everything, because sometimes colors get a little bit lost when you're diffusing it and all that stuff. So patience is key. Build up those shades and blend. With a makeup remover wipe, I'm going to be wiping away all the eyeshadow fallout, making sure the edge of that liner is cut, honey. Moving the face, I'm grabbing my Danessa Myricks Beauty Oil, applying that to the hands and rubbing it into the skin. For e.l.f., I wanted to revisit my Power Grip Primer. I don't know why I put so much. Sometimes I'm like, am I putting enough primer? With any primer, any face primer, I'm like, am I going a little bit too like easy on it? So I put on a lot. I thought about it after. I was like, is this the choice I want to make? And I did it, so yeah. Moving on to color corrector from Hued Beauty, I'm using their Faux Filter color corrector. This is in the shade Papaya. I'm applying it to the skin and blending it out with a damp beauty blender, damp with water. I decided to also put it on the nose. I do have a little bit of hyperpigmentation there, so I'm just trying new things, like with the eyeshadow base, like having concealer on the eyes and concealer on the nose, just trying to work on my base products. And yeah, from KVD, grabbing their translucent setting powder and setting all the areas where I applied the color corrector. Oh girl, Beyonce had me jamming out. I was feeling it. Moving on to foundation, grabbing Juvia's Place Eye Magic Foundation. This is in the shade Tanzania. As you see, I like to apply products to the back of my hand, and then I will apply it to the face from there, just helping with product control, making sure that I'm putting it on and building it up, as opposed to just putting a bunch of product on my face and then being like, ooh girl, what did I do? And wiping it off. So that's why I like to apply it to the back of the hand first, then the skin. From a Beauty, I'm grabbing their Double Take Duo Stick. This is in shade number 3. As you see, I'm applying it to the back of the hand, the contour shade, and then I'll go in and apply that to all the areas I would like to contour on my face. Moving on to concealer, I'm grabbing Juvia's Place I Am Magic Concealer. This is in the shade number 10 and applying it to all the areas of my face that I would like to highlight. I use the excess product on the Beauty Blender to carve out underneath my cheekbones. I just like to apply the product where it's needed the most. So if there's excess on it, which there usually is, from the concealer, I just use that underneath the cheekbones. There's no point in adding more. I used to do that, but I just want a more like diffused look. So the brightness I like to keep in the center of the face, and then to add a little bit more extra brightness around the perimeter, that's why I'll use the excess product. And you'll see that I'll also do the I'll use the excess foundation on the Beauty Blender to help diffuse between the foundation and the concealer after I put it on. And I think on the chin, I added too much product, so that's why I'm like lifting, trying to take that product off. That's why it looked like that. So, yeah, just clarifying for you. Yeah. I think I was jamming out to Church Girl here. Was it Church Girl at this point? Yep. Yeah, I think that's what had me hitting it like that. I think it was Church Girl by Beyonce. Ooh girl, she had me going. From Maybelline, I'm using their Fit Me Concealer. This is in the shade 30 Honey Meal. So I'm using this to add just that extra kick of brightness to the center of the face. I do feel like if I leave it too long, it will dry down. So that's why I like to work in sections. So I apply it to one side of the face, blend it out, the other side, blend it out. You get the drill. And I will add a little bit of the excess product from that Beauty Blender underneath my cheekbones, but again, Most of the product is going directly in the center of the face, and then for any little bit of extra brightness, I like to just use the excess product from the Beauty Blender. Moving on to blush, I'm grabbing Huda Beauty's blush filter. This is in the shade Latte. So what I'm doing is kind of contradicting what I said before about applying product to the back of my hand and then to the face from the Beauty Blender. For this, okay, so this is the first time I'm using this product, and I feel like the moments where I used it on the back of my hand and then applied it to the skin, it was just too sheer. Like, she was not showing up. I think that it might have been the shade that I have, or it could just be that the product is more of a buildable, which is what I felt. It builds up better. So yeah, that's why I applied it directly to the skin and blended it out, and then kept building up the shade to the desired opacity that I wanted. To set all of the highlighted areas, I went in with the Laura Mercier translucent setting powder. This is in the shade Honey. Everywhere else, I'm grabbing their translucent setting powder again, and this is in the shade Medium Deep. I'm using the powder puff for everywhere else on the face, and then for the nose, I will go in with an eyeshadow brush because, girl, the powder puff ain't gonna get there. Well, it will. It's just gonna cover everything else, so for precise application, going in with that brush. I'm grabbing Colored Rain Naughty Spice. Use your favorite bronzer, girl, because I'm gonna use what I got. I know Colored Rain isn't around anymore, but use your favorite bronzer, girl. Let's do that. From LA Girl, I'm grabbing their matte bronzer in the shade Sunset Glow and dipping into that bottom shade per usual. Y'all see me use this all the time. I'm using it to accentuate my nose contour, so I focus it on the upper section of the nose as well as the bottom. And then for everywhere else, you're seeing me just trying to blend all of those powders that I put on with a kabuki brush and that other eyeshadow brush. For setting spray, I'm using my e.l.f. setting spray. Now, I haven't used this in a while, and I was just like, why did I stop using it? Why did I put that one down? And I learned, because it makes me cough. Like, look at me. I was like, damn, like, it really hit me. So, yeah, learned my lesson with that one. Grabbing my Beauty Blender, pressing it into the skin. I do have my fan off camera as well. For brows, moving on to that, I'm grabbing She Glam's Better Brows Long Lasting Eyebrow Pencil. This is in the shade Chocolate. So I've been using this product on my brows. I usually go in with a pomade, but I wanted to see how I feel about a product that is a pencil form and also an angled pencil at that. I know that this isn't the first brand to do something like that, but it was like at a good price and I was like, let me try it out. So I start off with putting hair-like brush strokes in the front of the brow as well as areas where it's more sparse, and using the spoolie whenever needed to help diffuse the product. So far, I do like this shade. Did I say it was chocolate? The shade is chocolate. If I'm repeating myself, there it is. But yeah, so far I do like how that product is going on. Back to my Smashbox Always Sharp kohl liner in the shade Raven. I'm putting it in the waterline as well as on the lash line. I really want to help build up that depth on the lower lash line, so that's why I'm making sure she's covered. She's covered. In the Amrezy palette, once again, picking up that black shade BK, and I'm pressing this on top of the liner. This is to help set it and so it doesn't smudge and slowly evaporate over the day, because I don't like when that happens. From ColourPop in the Orchid Unite, again, picking up the shade Nah. So first I'm using an angled brush to really help to blur it into the black eyeliner, kind of like what we did on the top, to help give it that smoldering, smoky look. And then you'll see I'll go in with a bigger blending brush to really bring it down to the lower lid. From Game of Thrones, well, from Makeup Forever, this is their Game of Thrones collection, I'm going in with a liner to help line my lashes. So this is just a prep for lashes that I'll be applying. Use whatever liner you got. Yeah. After that, I'm grabbing my Beauty Salute to the Sun collection mascara. This is in the shade Chem. It's black. Again, use whatever mascara you have, girl. Just use your faves. For lashes, I'm going with the Lily Lashes Foaming Lashes in Mykonos. Moving on to Blonzer. So I'm going in with Bare Minerals Kiss of Copper. And for highlight, I'm using Anastasia Beverly Hills Amrezy Highlight. Again, use your favorite highlight, girl. I know that you can't get this one, but I love it. And I have a lot of it in the same component. So that's why I go in with that highlight, because she does right by me. She really does. So go with your favorite highlight. And for the nose, I am using an eyeshadow brush. You see I blended out a little bit with the finger. And I'm pretty much just using a... applying like an exclamation point. I wanted to use a brush to just get a more precise application highlight on the nose. And I was feeling it. Yes, sir. I was feeling it. Just jamming out the whole time. Well, actually, no, I think this is where I was listening to Church Girl, but yeah, I usually cut out my dancing parts, but I'm gonna keep it in because I want y'all to feel the vibes. I want y'all to get lit. I want y'all to be happy about your makeup and or just happy about your day. I just want you happy. I want you to feel good vibes. So I'm not cutting out my dancing anymore. I'm gonna keep it in because, yeah. Moving on to my lip combo, I'm using Beauty Simone lip liner, applying it to the lips and also the outer corners. And then after that, I went in with the Cran Case liquid lipstick in the shade Bear. Now here's the thing. I love this shade. It's such a gorgeous shade. It matched perfectly with my hair and this eye look. But the issue is that I've had this shade for a while. So she dried down and she's leaving clumps on my lips and I did not like that. So this whole time I'm thinking about it. I'm just like, the product is clumping up. Do I go in with a different shade? But the illustrator minded me. It's just like, if I go in with a different shade, see, I'm deep in thought about this. If I go in with a deeper shade, it's gonna look different. I don't like changing it. Look, I was like, I ain't changing this. So what am I gonna do? So I grabbed my chapstick and I applied it to my finger and then I rubbed it on top of the product. And if the product did lift, I just went in with more of it directly from the tube. The way I thought of this was kind of like how, I forgot what it's called, but the product you add to your gel liner when it dries down. I'm like, if people can do that, why can't I apply chapstick? So I did, and it did work. It did help with kind of smoothing out the product. Honestly, I feel like you gotta be close up to really see how it was cracking and it was starting to look crazy, but that's not the performance of the product on initially buying it. It's just because I had it for a while, didn't use it, so that's why it's applying like this. The shade though, Bear, oh girl, I love that shade. But yeah, this is how I saved that liquid lipstick. And here is the completed look. That's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Bless up, and until next time, sending out much peace, love, and enlightenment. Bye, guys.